Should I just start?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say the intro and then we can get started. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for the IACAC Virtual College Exploration. This is one of many sessions that's available for you to view, so feel free to check out some other sessions on iacac.org. This session will be recorded and available on the website next week. During this session, you'll be able to ask questions using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so we cannot see or hear you. You can also sign up for more sessions and watch other recordings on the IACAC website. That's it for me, but I am here to turn it over to Trinity Christian College.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Mackenzie. I'm an admissions representative at Trinity Christian College. I've been there almost 2 years now. I graduated personally from Trinity in December 2017 with degrees in communication arts and Spanish. I did our Chicago semester. I did our study abroad, had an internship through Trinity, and I got to graduate early. So I had a really fun, interesting, different experience for my own personal college experience. And I am here today to share with you plenty of details about Trinity in general. Happy to answer some questions about my own experience also and connect with you that way. But I'll just get into sharing some general information about Trinity. So we are a small Christian college located in Palos Heights, Illinois, which is about 30 minutes outside of Chicago. So we're tucked away in a nice little suburban area in a residential area surrounded by houses that were originally built around a golf course. So our campus was originally just a golf course. So we've got a nice little environment there, like I said, tucked away. It's kind of the hidden gem of the area. So we have about 1,500 students total on campus. Well, as students on campus living there, we have 600 to 700 usually. So we have a good commuter population, and then we've also got plenty of students living on campus. And we love to pride ourselves on having that small community feel where you know somebody everywhere you go, every new class that you're in, you know someone, but there's always plenty of new people to meet around campus too. So I like to say, if you're going to the coffee shop on campus, you're gonna know half the people and you're gonna wanna meet the other half. So other things about Trinity, like I said, it's a small Christian school. We're a non-denominational school, so meaning we are not affiliated with any particular denomination. And no students coming onto campus are required to have a belief statement of any sort of Christianity, of any specific denomination. We're welcoming students from all walks of life. We would love to have you. We have plenty of students on campus too that are just there for our wonderful, wonderful programs. So good segue into what our great programs are at Trinity. In particular, we're really known for nursing. We actually just redid over summer, we just redid our whole nursing floor. So there's jokes on campus about never seeing your new nursing student friends, because we have this whole floor completely dedicated to them that's right under the classroom building, generic, typical classroom spaces. So the nurses from pretty much their sophomore year on are in this nursing floor. And we just redid it, revamped it completely, and we set it up as close as you could possibly get to simulating what it would be like to be in a hospital. We've got our simulation dummies, there's a study space, all of the faculty members are right there. So really convenient, really cool, and it's brand new for our fall 20 students. So just happened over the summer, super exciting news to share in light of, everything that's going on right now with COVID. It was really, really fun to be able to share that with students and people be able to experience that this year. So nursing is probably our number one that we're known for. Around the Chicagoland area, we're also really known for business and in particular accounting. So we have an accredited program that does really, really well. We've got plenty of connections in the Chicago area for internships, and all students that are going to graduate from Trinity have to have some sort of field education, whether that be an internship, some sort of volunteering, student teaching, that sort of thing. Every student from every program needs to have some sort of field education before they can graduate. So that's nursing, business. Next, I would say, is education. We're tucked away in a nice little residential area, and what is there with residential areas? There's a lot of schools. So education is another area that we really lean into, do super well at. We've got a lot of special education students, bilingual students, the whole realm of education studies, something that we really excel at. There's plenty of statistics on our website too, if you want to hop over to trnty.edu and just search education in our academic programs. There's all kinds of special scholarships and good information like that. So then we've also got social work. Social work is one of those where it seems like all of my friends graduated with it, and all of the younger classes seem to be really leaning towards social work also. In hand with that is psychology. So those are our next two that seem to be really popular, and they're ones that Trinity does really, really well at. Plenty of connections in the area, great field education opportunities, and those are just some really fun ones that a lot of your friends that would be on campus also would be studying. So some of our other really cool ones that might be newer, not as common as nursing, not as common as business, would be our speech language pathology major. It's fairly new, up and coming kind of in general, and Trinity being a smaller school, just doing everything that we possibly can to make it just a wonderful major. So art therapy is another great one. So art therapy is art combined with psych. Put them together, you got art therapy, and technically it should be a pre-art therapy major. The name of it should be pre-art therapy because you would have to go into the graduate programs also. And then another one, we've got bioinformatics, which is a cool mixture of some sciences and math. Data analytics is coming on here too. So those are some of our fun ones that are coming on the scene. So those are great programs to be aware of. Like I said, community is another big thing for Trinity. So with that small community feel that I was talking about, our class sizes on average are 20 students per class. And then it's a student to faculty ratio of 10-1. So for every 10 students, there's one faculty member, which puts us in a position to ensure that you are going to get some really great one-on-one experience and attention from your professors. And that's something that I can attest to having gone to Trinity for my whole college experience. And I had wonderful, wonderful relationships with my professors, and will honestly say that those relationships with my professors, some of my best memories, some of my favorite parts about having attended Trinity. So small class sizes, attention from the professors that really truly care about you, know your name, know your style of work, know you really, really well. So some other things about us being a Christian school, we've got chapel on campus. We've got a lot of worship opportunities. Most of our worship on campus is student-led. So Wednesdays and Fridays, 10 to 11, we have chapel, and none of it's required. So like I said earlier, we're a Christian campus, but none of the students need to necessarily have a faith that aligns with anything that Trinity believes as an institution. So we don't believe that chapel should be required. The students that are there are participating. We want to be there and have made that decision rather than doing their homework in the background or something like that and kind of disrespecting the service. So chapel Wednesdays and Fridays. Thursday evenings at 10, we have this really cool thing called Outcry, and it's completely student-led, completely for the students alone, and that's 10 p.m. on Thursdays, and it's a really, really, really cool experience that I wish everybody would take advantage of, and a lot of students do. So there's scholarship opportunities involved with that too. If you're interested in peer ministry, if you're interested in any sort of worship or anything like that, then we also have Sunday night worship. So that's something that's more of like sit around the campfire, have the acoustic guitar out, or just meet anywhere on campus and have a little meeting, share some prayer, share a little message, and get together with your friends on campus. So there's opportunities to get involved on campus with that. There's also plenty of opportunities with clubs and student activities and things along those lines. So our clubs on campus, we've got Asian American Alliance, we call it AAA. We've got Black Student Union, we call BSU. We've got Sabor Latino, which is the Latinx students on campus that are leading that. And then we've got men's, women's ministries, and we've got some others that are being created that are in the works right now. So any club on campus was created by students and can still be just created based off of interest in the community. So those are some cool opportunities. Another question that we get a lot about being involved on campus and what's going on is, do students go home on the weekends? Are students around? What's going on throughout the week? What's going on the weekends? Is there stuff that's happening to keep the students engaged and keep you there and having fun? The answer is yes. That's actually one of the things that we do really well at. Also, so whenever I was there, we would do movies projected, and you'd take your little lawn chair and you'd go sit out on the lawn. We've got a big lawn space. And I think they did Toy Story 4 not too long ago out there. Jurassic World came out. We watched that in the auditorium. They did that bubble soccer thing not too long ago. I know this week on campus, they're doing laser tag in the library. So just some super fun things that are going on all the time. And that is ran by student activities. Then there's also all of the athletics. If you're an athlete, of course, you're going to be super engaged in that. You're going to be super worn out from being a student athlete. But there are intramurals too. So whether you're an athlete or not, you want to participate in that, you absolutely can. It can get a little competitive, but from what I've heard, a lot of it is for fun and to get together and, goof off a little bit, but, have a purpose with it. So that's one of the other great things about being on a small campus. There's plenty of opportunity for you to get in there and to just, be you and make it yours. We want Trinity to be your home when you're on campus. And that was one of my favorite parts and pretty much the reason why I chose Trinity. Whenever I stepped on campus as a student, visiting schools with my mom, just everything about the trees and the campus and everybody that I met was just, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I want to be. It wasn't anything in particular about programs or anything like that. It was just a very warm feeling that I had that was fulfilling, and I knew that I had some direction there. So that to say, of course, it's important to visit a campus before you decide, right? It's got to be really difficult to be looking for your school during COVID. I know a lot of schools are not allowing visitors on campus right now. We are. You can do an individual visit. That's just trnty.edu/visit. And you can go to our page, see what kind of days and times and what kind of schedule you want to create for yourself. It's completely individualized. We're not doing big visit days, as you can imagine. We can't do that right now, but we're doing individual visits and we are taking all precautions. So we wear a mask, we social distance, we get outside, and you can still see everything. There's just a little bit less students on campus. We still had campus open for students to come live there. We know there were plenty of students that were planning on that for their living situation. So instead of having multiple students in a room, multiple students in a dorm, it's one student per dorm. So taking all safety precautions with that. But if you are able to come to campus, schedule your tour, schedule a meeting with me. I'd love to sit down, meet with you, talk to you a little bit more about just the process that it would look like for you individually. So you can go ahead and apply. Of course, our application is open. FAFSA is open. So those are our first steps, right? So get onto the website. You can apply with our free application. It's quick and easy. You can also just use the common application if you would like, if that's something that's more convenient for you. That's something that we accept. Something that's cool right now is that we're test optional. We know a lot of students were not able to take the ACT or SAT this year, so we're test optional like a lot of other schools are. So those merit-based scholarships are based off of your GPA, weighted or un. So that's something that we've adapted for you guys. And if you would like for your test score to be considered, if you were able to take it, you're proud of your test score, you can send it our way along with your transcript and opt in for that. And we'll consider that whenever we're looking through your application and we're looking for admission. So FAFSA opened up October 1st. That's something that you can just log on in there, file it, and then put Trinity's name at the end, send it our way, and then look through the other scholarships on the website. We've got plenty of scholarships. I know that finances are quite a concern, right? Of course, you don't want to be taking on a lot of debt. Of course, you want to choose a school that you feel like is affordable for you. And going through scholarships is a really great way to do that. And we have a lot of specialty scholarships available for students. We make the joke that if you're left-handed, Trinity has a scholarship for that. We don't actually have that scholarship. One of the ones that we do have is for a male student that plays the organ. So go through the list on there. It could be something so specific to where you live and your major. It's a combination of two, and you might not have to do anything for it, but to say, hey, Mackenzie, I think that I qualify for this scholarship. Maybe I could get this $1,000 scholarship. And we can look through that together. So easy peasy. Read through that list. I also always encourage students, of course, to look at scholarships in your community. That's another way to get as much financial support as possible without having any conflict with the institution, with the government, anything like that, right? So scholarships are most likely going to be coming from the institution, and grants are generally going to be coming from the government, and that's based off of need. So put those two things together. By January, we'll be able to have a financial aid package for you. I'll reach out whenever that gets sent out to you guys and talk you through the whole thing, all of the confusing numbers, all of the confusing words, break it down, tell you exactly what it means to be able to kind of ease your anxiety, ease that up for you, and let you know that you have plenty of support here. That's what the admissions representative is there for, to be that resource and to be as much help as possible. And I always say that admissions is jack of all trades, master of none. So there are some nitty-gritty things about financial aid that I will connect you happily with the financial aid office. Something specific about loans, I'll get you in contact with your financial aid counselor. So you'll have someone in the admissions office, and you'll have someone in the financial aid office to support you in all of this also, because we know it's a big deal. We do it every year, so we're getting pretty well versed with certain things. So does anybody have any questions at this point? You can drop a question for me in the Q&A, and I'll pull that up and answer it while we're in here. Whether it be a question about my personal experience, a question about Trinity, something that I didn't go over that you were hoping to hear from me. Any questions about the admissions process? Are students required to live on campus? That's a good question. So yes, students are required to live on campus until you reach a certain age or a certain amount of credits that you have. So I believe it's age 22 and like 80 some credits, which would be like late junior year, I believe, for the average student. And that is unless your legal parent and guardian live within 45 miles. So if you live close enough to the school where it would make sense for you to commute, then sure, you can commute. But if you live so far away and it would be an hour drive, or you're, trying to figure out, I'm going to live with my cousin's sister, to make it work, we want you to be in the best living situation for yourself so that your college experience can be the best that it can be. It's a stressful time. So we want you to be in an environment that's going to foster that for you. If that's living at home with your family and you've only got a 20-minute commute, so be it. But there's so many benefits to living on campus, and just being there in the community, being on campus for all of those student activities that I named, being there for all of the sporting events. And Trinity is really intentional about reaching out to commuters and making sure that commuters feel just as welcome on campus. But there's just something different about living there. If you're looking into being a nurse or, a physics major or something like that, something that's super demanding, it's great to be there and be surrounded by this education community with other students that can support you. So hope that answered your question well. What is campus life like is the next question. That's a good one. I wish I had a student ambassador here that was, someone that is currently in school, and I know that school doesn't look like it normally does, but campus life, it's a general question and it looks different for every student, right? So I think in general, you're going to be going to classes. You're going to be going to classes with your friends. You're going to be stopping by the coffee shop on campus and having your little snack, having your chat, seeing your professors there, saying hi. Plenty of people in passing. One of the other things that happens on campus that's really fun is when it's nice outside, like it was really beautiful here today. I don't know where you guys are. But I think it was 71, 72 today, so perfect weather, and people put their hammocks up. So there's plenty of trees on campus, and students stack their hammocks and just hang out and have some music going and play games out on the lawn and do fun things like that. So I'm from a really small town, so it's not difficult for me to understand what it would be like to be in a small college community, because it's really familiar to me, where everybody's pretty familiar. Everybody's comfortable. It's a very safe campus, so it's a very safe area, so nobody, has a worry in the world. So in between classes, you might be hammocking, you might be stopping by the coffee shop, you'll be having study groups in the library. Classes will probably go till 2:30, 3:30 maybe for you. And then you've got your afternoon. Are you going to be an athlete? Are you going to have practice in the afternoons? Are you going to have a weekly meeting with one of the clubs that you're involved in on campus? Are you going to have a weekly dinner with your dorm, with your roommates every week? So it's just it's very relationship oriented, I would say. That might be the best way to put it. I can say small community, and I can talk about how much we appreciate that, but I think mentioning that it's relationship oriented, and people are there to genuinely encourage you and genuinely support you and are excited to have you there. Staff, faculty, students, I think that's a good way to put it. Is there anything else? Do you guys have any technical questions, maybe about the admissions process? Maybe what things are looking like with COVID right now? Anything specific to me? Like I said, I graduated with degrees in communications and Spanish. I did study abroad. I did our Chicago semester, which was an internship program where I worked at the Fashion Outlets of Chicago for my internship, and I lived downtown, and I got to graduate early. Does that spark any questions for you guys? Let's see. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about study abroad then. So we have endorsed programs, or sponsored programs, I should say, and they're pretty much all over the place. There's Australia, there's China. We own a campus in Spain, so it's TCC Seville, actually, which is really cool. We have Oman, we have Paris, we have Washington, D.C., which I know isn't abroad, but it's an off-campus study. So the sky's the limit whenever it comes to study abroad programs or off-campus studies. And the super cool thing about that is that if you do one of those programs, it does not cost you any more money than what it would normally for you to be on campus. So we'll go through this whole financial aid package process, and you'll have all of your information, what Trinity is going to cost for you, all of your scholarships, all of your grants listed out for you. And what I'm basically saying is that all of that financial aid that you get for a normal fall or spring semester will be applied to your Paris semester or your China semester or your Ecuador semester, something like that. So that's a really cool thing to think about. I did Spain, loved it. I was required to get my Spanish degree, but I got to just go to Italy for the weekend or go to Ireland for the weekend. And, you know, here I'm 24, married, and I've got 5 cats and a dog, and I'm fostering kittens, and I just can't go to a European country for, 3.5 months. So that's something that I'm very glad that I was able to take advantage of whenever I was in school, and it didn't cost me anything else. I also got extra credits. So instead of classes being 3 credits a class, whenever I was in Spain, they were 4, which is another really cool part. So any questions about that from you guys? I don't want to leave you hanging on anything. I don't want to wrap up too soon for you guys before you get the chance to answer your question. Okay, guys. Well, if there isn't anything else, I think we can say our goodbyes. I'll reach out to you guys and let you know that it was great being able to connect with you. Of course, I'm super excited to have had this opportunity. I wish we were able to meet in person at an actual college fair, of course, but great opportunity. Thanks to IACAC and StriveScan for this too. So thanks so much for your questions. Thanks for engaging with me and stopping by.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. After you leave the webinar, you will have a really short 4-question survey, which would be great if you could fill that out. Again, you can sign up for more sessions at iacac.org, and all recordings of sessions will be available on the website as well. Thanks again, and have a great evening.